I had 3 calls within 1 hour
of making the hard
of
decision and
decision.
saying no to a major offer, a dream offer,
Yes.
and trusting God.
He opened doors that make no sense to me, and it didn't look the way I thought it would look. It wasn't what I thought it was gonna be
Mm-hmm.
because it was better. But it was a very defining moment when I said it was such a scary, trust defining moment. So I feel like the only way this could happen, because people have been asking me for years, have you ever thought about, doing your own thing? Have you ever thought about speaking or consulting? And I'm like, no, well, that's not what I do. The only way I was even going to be open to this is if he shut the whole thing down.
But the grace of God to say, now let me provide the people. Let me give you the clients. You're fully booked. Like you have clients and people coming in and you aren't even looking for it.
It's time to be seen and heard because your faith is professional.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Professional Faith with Melissa D. White. I'm your host, and this series is a spinoff of my popular TED Talk, Can I Bring My Faith to Work? And I realized it was more than a moment on the stage, but it had momentum and it drew out conversations with many of what I call my faith friends that we've introduced through our professional faith community. And I had to definitely bring some voices to the forefront other than my own, because faith is not just a moment, it's a journey, it's a story of shared beliefs, values, and life events. And the people that I'm going to be bringing on this series are not only dear friends of mine, but they are people I go to not only strengthen my faith, but to believe God in business and in life. And today I have none other than the incredible, incomparable, oh my gosh, Kim Hurd. Kim is someone I met years ago just through my corporate background. And my prayer is that as you listen to this conversation, you'll open yourself up to the relationships that God has for you and the plans He has for you, because it's far greater than what you can think. Sometimes you meet people casually in work settings and you don't know how God's going to use their story, their encouragement, and their support to push you in places. And I think we push each other. That's what faith friends are. And I hope that as you continue to engage, not only in our community, but in this conversation, you're inspired and to overcome discouragement, to keep pushing forward and to build the thing that God told you to build. Let me tell you about this incredible woman. Kimberly Hurd, she has an impeccable resume in my corporate background, which you may not know, which is in the multifamily real estate industry. What does that mean? She is a top tier educator and performer, helping other people to find their passion and their light when it comes to the workplace with training and development. A couple of things I'll tell you about her, because I have to tell you her accomplishments. Over 30 years in the industry and training and development, from leasing to C-suites. Either way, she exudes excellence and helps to train your teams to become the best. She's led thousands from burnout to breakthrough. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa, that is so true. And that's a testament to the fruit of the work that she's done over 3 decades of work. She lives by the standard, and I love this phrase: worthiness isn't earned, it's remembered. So as you listen to this conversation of how you can go from a sought after voice with incredible talent in an industry to where you're fully surrendered to God and now He's seeking after you to fulfill your purpose, I can't think of a better person to tell this story than Kim Hurd. Hey, Kim.
Hey.
Man, this has been a conversation that's a long time coming. You are truly a faith friend, and anyone who knows you, you are. People throw around the word authentic or be your authentic self. You're just Kim. Like you have, I have such high esteem for who you are
Yeah.
professionally. You were the past chair of the National Apartment Association Education Institute. You have ran companies with thousands of team members. You've built teams, ran major assets, but you are approachable. You are real. You are humble.
I don't know any other way to be.
And that's true. But people say that, but you
Yes.
exude that.
Thank you.
And I've seen you be consistent in that in every arena, whether you're on a stage in front of thousands or we're one-on-one in a
Right.
conversation. You're the same Kim. And that to me is what endeared me to you. And the fact that you trusted me with like my crazy ideas and my bold faith, and that bonded us. And that's what I love. Is that's what when I say faith friends, like it's one thing to like find that cool work friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I know.
you have that, that's my work buddy. But I've learned in life, work buddies can become life friends.
True.
And you've become that person.
Aw,
I feel like,
same.
thank you, friend. Now, the professional faith, tell people a little bit about it. You know about this thing, and you've seen me really building this work over the last year.
I'm
And it
a
was
huge
what
fan.
Oh man,
Big
I'm
fan.
honored that you are. Not only are you a fan, you're like my accountability partner. You're like, so when are we doing this? Like she's the cheerleader. Like so you've been talking about it. When are we gonna do it? And so I couldn't think of a better person to have this conversation with because we have prayed together
Yes.
about this platform.
True.
We have messaged one another ideas. She's like, hey, have you thought about this? Or I got a person for you. She's connected people to help build out this vision God gave me to create a space where your faith is truly
Yes.
professional. And what that means, it's based off of the scripture of professing your faith, that we're all professors of faith. And I don't care what your job is, our number one job on this earth is to profess our faith. And you do that unashamed. But was it always like that? Were you always so bold
No.
about it? How did we get here? How did we get from you leading? So when I say thousands of people, like you are an industry leader and trendsetter, you are a leading voice and you set the pace of things that happen in our industry. And it's one thing to be a corporate expert in things, but when did you start becoming more personal in your walk and in your journey? How did you even get there?
Yeah, it's a great question. And a journey is the right word for it, right? I have some moments on this journey that I'm very proud of, and I have some moments that we could just get by, and I'm
Yeah.
okay with that
Yeah.
as well, right? I mean, as a human, right, outside of work, I grew up in the church. I grew up youngest of 5 children with single mom, and the one thing she always made sure we did was get to church. Like that was a foundation, never a question or an option.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that has always been in my life. God has always been a part of my life. I was baptized very young,
Mm-hmm.
and so that has always been there as a foundation. I
Mm-hmm.
strayed, as many people do. I think that's very normal,
Mm-hmm.
but I came back, which is what matters. As a leader,
Mm-hmm.
I watch a lot of people. I love people watching anyway, but I watch a lot of things that people do, and I think I want to be like that, or I do not want to. I
Mm-hmm.
do not want to do that. I do
Mm-hmm.
not want
It's
to
one
be
or the
like that.
other. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we talk about our roots in the industry. I started on site as a leasing consultant, so I had those corporate people where you're like, why? Why'd you make that rule? Or do you know
Mm-hmm.
how that impacts us in the field?
Right.
And I just never forgot that. I always said to myself as a leasing consultant, if if I ever get a chance to be in charge or be a leader,
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget what it feels like to be here on the receiving
Yeah.
end of this stuff. And I feel like some people are just, I don't know, they're disengaged or they've lost touch with in our industry
Mm-hmm.
what impact their words have even.
Mm-hmm.
And I just made a promise to myself that I would never be that person. I know that words matter. I know they can lift up and they can hurt, cut
Mm-hmm.
down. And I try to be very intentional with that. And I think at the core base of it, I've surrounded myself with powerful women, yourself included, who are there to check me. And some of them do it often. And I don't always like it, but you need that circle in your life
You do.
that says, "Hey, you're getting a little big for your britches," or "Did you think about how that sounded?" or "Why are you doing that?"
Mm.
And I am blessed beyond measure with very strong females in my circle that as I've moved from a leadership role in my company to a leadership role at NAA,
Mm.
who have been there to say, you should try that, or what are you doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that has been a huge part of who I am as a leader is who I surround myself with,
Absolutely.
not only like my friends, but also that I've always got God there too to be like, what are we doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? So it's not. I think it's all of that together
Mm-hmm.
kind of created this version of Kim Hurd. Some days I love it, and some days I'm like, what are we doing?
I love it. Now, I've watched, especially, I want to talk about the last 2 years specifically. I'm going to speed up the timeline here. You built the career,
I have.
God has given you a platform, you're traveling the country, you're teaching in multiple cities,
Mhm.
and you are at the top of your game for some major management companies, right? And corporations. And then life happens.
It does.
Can you tell us, I always call it that activation hour, that moment, that crossroads when you know I'm about to make a decision that my life is never going to be the same and everything I built is probably going to fall, but I'm going to trust God. Can you tell us about that? That's a faith moment for real because we
Yeah.
all have them, but not everyone gets to witness it from people that are powerful and in a position to know what that looks like behind the scenes.
Yeah. And I think I called you in that moment.
You
and
did.
said, can you help me? Can you guide me through
Yeah.
this? Right? Because
And I'm like, really, me? And I think because I was so open and transparent about mine, people just think like, you're gonna have to walk me through this crisis of faith or this crossroads I'm in. So tell us about that moment for you.
yeah, so I say, as any person does, right? I think
Mhm.
this is very normal. I say, I know God's got this. I know He's got a plan. I know the plan is bigger than anything I can
Mhm.
think of. And then I want to take it back and be in control,
Mm.
right? So I'm going to give it to you. That was long enough. I'll take it. I
Mhm.
got this now. I got a plan. And
Mhm.
so I came to a kind of a crossroads in my professional career
Right.
at the very beginning of this year, where I've been in the industry, as you said, 30 years.
Mhm.
And I separated from a company and started thinking like, what do I want to do next?
Right.
What does this look like? Oh, I know. I know what this looks like. I know what's going to happen. I'm
Mhm.
going to find another company and keep going and doing
Yeah.
what I've done for 30 years.
Mhm.
Now, which company do I want? And so I set about interviewing, talking to all of my network across the country,
Mhm.
reaching out to recruiters, and nothing was lining up like I thought it would. And
Mhm.
so a couple of months go by, and I'm like, well, I just haven't found the right fit yet. And then I start talking a little more to God about what are we doing? What's the
Mhm.
timeline?
Mhm.
And then another month went by of lots of conversations. I mean, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed at the number of people that reached out, the
Mhm.
number of companies that reached out, but nothing felt like it was the one.
The
And
fit.
so, yeah,
Mhm.
I got a little closer to God. Like, okay, I'm starting to get a little nervous.
Uh-huh.
And I thought in my plan, we'd be somewhere by now. So what are we doing? And another month goes by. And I mean, let's be honest, it is a very challenging market right now.
Yeah.
I have tons of friends who have been downsized or laid off.
Mhm.
It's a scary time, right? But with each passing month, I would say, I know you've got this. I know you have a plan, but can you come on? Can you come on
Can you
with it?
speed this plan up? Because it's
Yeah.
not lining up with my plans here. What we doing?
Tomorrow works for me. Can we find something tomorrow?
Yeah.
And so finally, what I had to realize for myself is if I'm really going to be authentic with God and if
Mhm.
I really believe He has a plan,
Mhm.
I have to go into full submission on this. And I'm a type A controlling person.
Mhm.
So this was tough, but this was what I felt like I
Mhm.
needed to do. I need to strengthen my prayer life. I needed to get into Bible study.
Mhm.
And I needed to fully say, I know you got this. Not just the words,
Yeah.
but I needed to fully give him control of whatever we were doing. If I really believe,
Mhm.
if I really believe he's got this, I can't say it and then take it back.
Right.
I gotta go all in. And it's scary.
Mhm.
It's very scary to fully say, you know, I give it all to you and I trust you
Mhm.
and I know this is gonna work out, but hurry please, right? I kept
Mhm.
putting these conditions on God. And we came to a crossroad where I had an incredible offer with someone I respect and trust. And I went into prayer about it and said, I don't know if this is it, but I'm going to let you even control the words that come out of my mouth about this.
Mhm.
And in that moment of making the decision, the words that came out were, I think I'm going to pass. And I'm going to stop breathing. Did I just say that?
Right.
What am
Ooh.
I doing?
Ooh.
What if I was wrong? What if
Right.
that wasn't him? That's me.
Ooh,
Oh,
my.
what am I doing? But again, I rely on my faith. And within hours, literally, I could not make this story, I couldn't make it up. I couldn't make it any better than it is. Within hours
Yeah.
of being obedient
Mm-hmm.
and relying on my faith, he opened doors that make no sense to me. And it didn't look the way I thought it would look. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't what I thought it was going to be
Mm-hmm.
because it was better.
Mm.
It was better. But it was a very defining moment when I said, here we go. I've got like goosebumps now. Just like it was such a scary trust defining moment.
It wouldn't be faith if it wasn't.
Fair, but to go all in,
Mm-hmm.
and know that this is my family, right? Like I provide for my family, like our kids,
Mm-hmm.
and everything changed within hours, not days, weeks, months.
Yeah.
Within hours, I had calls and offers and people asking me the same question. Uncanny, coincidental. I don't believe in coincidence, but people would say that's very coincidental. No, it's not. I had 3 calls within 1 hour
Of making the hard
of
decision
making that
and
decision.
saying no to a major offer, a dream offer,
Yes.
and trusting God.
The title, the pay, everything I thought I wanted that I said no to. Within hours, I
Yes.
had multiple calls saying, have you ever thought about? And they all asked the same question. Have you ever thought about consulting? Have you ever thought about starting
Ooh,
your own
you
company?
talk about confirming his word. I want to point out a few really important things that you said. I don't want people to miss this. Number one, you are at a crossroads of faith. When you're on a faith journey, and catch this, because we could just be having a conversation about business and motivation or whatever. But the foundation of everything we're talking about here is our Christian faith
Yeah.
and building kingdom, which is one of like the cornerstone of what we stand on. And you could have very well said within your gifts, your talents, your capabilities, I know I can make something happen. I can make something shake. I can hustle up something. It's going to work out, God. And then do the thing and run with it and then come
Could've.
behind and ask God to bless it.
I could've.
So catch this. What you did is such a lesson in surrender. Surrender does not mean I'm going to run for what I want. And then, oh, by the way, God, can you bless this? You surrendered and said, here's what I'm presented with.
Mhm.
Here's what I want to do. But if that's not what you want, God, I trust you.
Right. 100%.
That is the essence of faith, the substance of things hoped for. You have substance, you have talent, you have gift, you have evidence that you are fully capable, right?
Right.
But it says the evidence of things not seen, not the evidence in Kim's talents, not the evidence in your resume, but the
Right.
evidence of what you don't see. You had no idea what was on the other side of your no to them and your yes to God.
I did not.
That is real faith.
But I knew he didn't bring me all this way and line all these things up over my career and open
Mm,
all these doors to drop me. I know that. My God isn't like that.
mm,
I didn't know what it was,
mm.
but I had to trust.
Yeah.
It's the core of who I am. And he did what he did. He showed up, showed out. Right?
And immediately,
It was crazy.
he confirmed his word to you. That to me is a testament to how much he loves you and how much he wanted to prove himself to you. He says, like, try me at my word. And you tried him at his word.
I did.
And he came around. You know, we were just talking about this in the car. And I said, my daily prayer is, Lord, I'm going to trust you, but please don't put me to shame. And he says it in his word. It's like, can you not have me out here looking crazy? But if you have me looking crazy, let it be for your glory.
Right.
I want to ask you this. Now, again, this could be any other podcast. There are tons of industry platforms you could have had this conversation with. I do not say this lightly. I am honored that you said, hey, you called and you said, I have to have this conversation with you. Why was it so important to you and a priority to you that you tell this story from a lens of faith? Because I've heard people ask you, like, they want the scoop. They're like, so where are you now? Like, surely somebody scooped you up. Surely you got a job. You're working on something, Kim. And you're like, I got something. And I'm just like, she really is tight-lipped about this until we talk. But why was a faith platform, a kingdom platform important to you as a place to share this story? Because you could have done this with anybody.
So it's a
Why?
great question. And I could have said this or launched this or told the
Yeah,
story on social media,
you could have.
right? All of those things are available. And I have been kind of tight-lipped about it because God gave me a gift.
Mm,
This isn't lost on me, right? The
mm.
way this happened, the way he provided these opportunities and who they're with and how it's working out, God gives and God takes away.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
here's what I know. I'm not going to do anything right now or for a very long time, I hope, that's going to jeopardize this.
Mm,
So he gave me this gift. I have been in prayer about
mm,
what do I do with it? I have direction now, but what do you want me to do with it? What does it
yeah.
look like? Where are we going with it?
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep feeling and getting this message about I gave you this gift and you need to tell that story. And so when I think about, so where would I tell that story? How would I do that in the most effective way? The only person I know that has been bold enough to say, you can be a businesswoman and be faith centered
Mm.
is you. You're the only person I know saying that. Everybody else is saying, hey, you might want to dial the faith piece back a little
Yeah.
bit. You might want to tone your message down a little bit. Your
Mm-hmm.
keynote says you make a reference. You might want to think about pulling that out.
Mm-hmm.
That's not where I'm at right now, right? And I'm not we say at church, a senior saint. I'm not a senior saint.
I like that.
But what I know is God is moving,
Yeah.
and I want to continue to stay right with Him. I gave it to Him. He blew my mind. I'm
Yeah.
thankful, and
Yeah.
I'm not about to say like, okay, good job. Now sit down, God. I got this.
I got it from here.
Yeah, I got this.
Oh my
Thanks.
gosh.
Good job. No, that's not.
That's not it.
That's not how this is going to work.
Yeah.
There was nobody else to reach out to than you
Mm-hmm.
to say, I'm watching your journey. I'm a fan. I have been for years.
I have to say, can I tell you what really endeared me to you? And it
I
cracks.
may not want to know.
No, you do. You do. It's one of my favorite stories because you are a witness to like a radical moment of obedience for me because like when I started doing the LinkedIn lives
Mhm.
and it was activate the day and it's to this day it's insane. When I say that was radical obedience, I was like, God, do not make me go live over here on LinkedIn of all places.
All
Like, really,
places.
this is what we're gonna do? And it was I didn't have a real plan. He just said, just go live and start just encouraging people in the morning. And this went on for like a while, right? And people would get on. This is when LinkedIn was kind of had a clubhouse feel for a
Mhm.
moment, and people could come in and listen. And I think you privately messaged me like, I have been following you and admiring your work for years.
Yes.
And I remember sitting at my desk. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm gearing up for Activate the Day. And it's where I would go on and I would have a motivational message. I would do like live hot seat coaching, right? And people were getting Bible, but they didn't know they were getting Bible.
Right.
Those motivational messages were Jesus, not Melissa. And they was like, they're gonna get this word today. And you slid in my DMs is like, oh my gosh, I listened to this around my computer with my team, and they call it property management church.
Church.
And they call it business church. And I was like, what? And that's when I knew I boohoo cried. I was like, God, it's reaching people. This is,
Yes.
and I wasn't, that's the thing. We are the church. And you reminded me, I wasn't saying Jesus. I wasn't saying God. I wasn't preaching. Like I said, I wasn't saying, now turn to your word to
Yeah.
Ephesians 5. I went, now I can do that. Now you got to catch me on Sundays for that. But that wasn't that. I purely just wanted, I was craving connection. That's what it was. And I didn't want to just speak into the camera and feel like it was a void. I said, God, I want to help your people. I need to do something real for people. And it can't just be another podcast. I want to connect with your people. And it connected me to you.
It did. It worked.
It worked.
It
So what I
worked.
want them to take from that, you may be listening to this, and whether you're a faith person or not, it's the bold obedience. Like, do the thing that seems crazy but simple. It sounds simple, like just go live. No, like it was the one
No.
thing I was like, don't make me do this.
Yeah.
For you, it was like, oh my gosh, do not make me turn this down. Like you have a family.
I do.
You have boys. You had a kid going to college.
I do.
You had you had every reason in the world to say yes to that. And now look at it. What would you say to a leader or executive right now? What, you know where I'm going with
I
this.
do.
How many, because I didn't know there would be a Kim Hurd listening to my radical obedience moment and calling it like business church or property management because we are the church. Like that to me was the essence of it. But that was my immediate confirmation when I did it.
It
You
was
got your
so uplifting, right? Like
yeah.
property management can be so
Oh
stressful
man.
and problems. That's all we do is solve problems.
All we do is solve problems
But
every
it
day.
was a little glimmer in our day to be like uplifted and visible and seen, and you feel good. You take a deep breath, like life's gonna be okay. And then
Yeah.
we get back.
But I honor that moment because it says in the word that we overcome by the blood of the lamb
Mm.
and by the word of our testimony. And people don't realize it for those of us who are kingdom that we just may be telling a story,
Right.
but they don't realize I'm planting a seed of my testimony so that it'll encourage you. And people are like, oh my gosh, how did you know I was going through that? And I was like, I didn't, but I was just telling you the story I'm supposed to tell. So for you sitting here telling your story today, I am pretty certain there's an executive,
Mm.
there's an owner, there's a leader
Yeah.
that is at a crossroads of faith. And like you and I, they've been told it doesn't take all of that. You know, I don't know about that Jesus stuff. You need to just do this, do that. What would you say to them if they were in the shoes that we once sat in of that crossroads of faith?
Yeah. So it goes back to your comment about being authentic, right?
Yeah.
You to be true to yourself.
Mhm.
And if you feel that this is a part of who you are, right? I talk a lot about worthiness and being worthy because I'm a worthiness chaser. I'm a recovering
I love that
worthiness
quote.
chaser, right?
Yeah, that you live by.
So you've got to be authentic to yourself, right? This is scary. This is different. It's maybe not everybody in your circle loves it. Maybe somebody's going to make a comment, right? I'm grown. All of those things can happen, but at the end of the day, who Kim Hurd needs to be and who Kim Hurd needs to worry about is not anybody here on this planet. It is not. That is not what guides my life or guides my future. I need to be right with God at the end of the day, whatever day that is. If it's this afternoon, if it's 10 years from now, I need to be right with God. I don't need to be right with coworkers. I don't need to be right with a friend, somebody I went to school with 10 years ago. That's not what guides me. So I would just say to anybody in that role who's like, I don't know, it is okay. It is okay to be who you authentically are. It is okay to be true to what you believe in. We worry so much about what other people think or what they're going to say about us.
Yeah.
And when does that stop? When do you listen to yourself and what you inside know is right and matters? It's now. 'Cause if it's not now, then when is it? Right? I get so worried about in the past. What are they going to think if they see me praying in my office?
Right.
What are they going to think? And who cares? Right? And what I found is the more I talk about this, and I may be jumping the gun down on this, but I took the time I had off to connect. You mentioned the importance of connection. Somebody said connection is
Yes.
currency,
Yeah.
which I think is a really good statement as well. But I started having these. I called them meal mates.
I was hoping we got to the meal
Yeah,
mates. Oh my
because
gosh.
sometimes it was breakfast, sometimes it was dinner, and it just started out with like, I'm not doing anything. You want to go?
It was
have
the most
breakfast? Or
organic,
yeah, I just
explosive thing. Like you didn't even realize you were
I didn't.
building something
This
by
is not
simply
a
having
movement.
lunch. Why? But
This
can
is
we?
not a
But
movement.
we got to give them full context though. Meal mates came from a place of you being intentional of your season of not working, your in between season. Now, mind you, you went from, let's just set the trajectory. You went from being highly sought after, always booked and busy,
Traveling
trainer, traveling everywhere, and all of a sudden you're at a standstill.
everything stopped.
We're talking to the leader. You're on the top of your game now. Your phone is ringing off the hook now. You're catching flights and you're going to the meetings and on the stages and doing all the things now. You're relevant now, and then all of a sudden life stops. The job is gone. The phone's not ringing like it used to, and people just assume, oh well, sure, you're just gonna land back on your feet, or surely somebody's gonna scoop you up. And I want to really give them context. We're going to tell the story. I want to tell it, like, give it justice.
It's real.
You told me you had how many interviews approximately?
Gosh, I bet I had 40. I mean, that sounds like a lot, and not full interviews.
Yeah,
Some
but
of them
just
were
conversations like that just did not turn into a job.
But some of them went 5 levels too, right? Like I'm 5 levels in,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't think this is it. So you add all that
That
up,
could be highly discouraging.
it is.
Like that could be crushing to someone when you are uber talented, when you have been sought at 30 plus years career. Like, come on, like in our minds, for those of us who watch you, like, surely Kim is fine. Surely Kim's gonna get a job. Oh, she's great. When on the inside, you're like, I'm terrified.
Mhm. And people say that a lot too. I think they think it's encouraging, right? To say
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, you'll be scooped up before you know it. When that doesn't happen, then
Mm-hmm.
if you're not grounded right, you start wondering, what's wrong with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or is there something wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
Or what am I not doing right?
Mm-hmm.
And it can be, it's a very slippery slope, right? Before you start spiraling down into loneliness and depression and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was very intentional during that time. God provided for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I was set up very nicely. And it was the summer. My kids were home. All of my boys were home.
Yeah.
So again, when you look back, everything was lined up and was
It was
intentional
such a holy setup.
to,
He
to
set
win.
you up.
He did. And I was worried. Like that's
Yeah.
now I'm mad at myself for that. Like, why would you, again, you're so questioning it.
Yeah.
But he set that up. And so I go from putting all of my worth in my work,
That part.
right? And the awards and the recognition, that's where my worth was. So now that's gone.
Mhm.
So I start questioning my own worth.
Mhm.
After everything I've done, and everything I've accomplished, what is this about? And this isn't okay. This is not okay. And again, thank God I had friends who were like, knock it off.
Yeah.
We are not going to let you have that moment.
Oh, yeah.
But so I started just reaching out to people. We're so busy.
Mhm.
And we always say, you know what, we should catch lunch sometime. And then we don't because life.
Right.
Right. And so I started thinking, how many times have I said that to somebody? And right now I've got nothing but time. Right. And so I just started reaching out to people. I live in Indiana. I reached out to people in Indiana and said, hey, would you want to catch breakfast or lunch? And I don't know, I had no expectation,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
everybody said, oh my gosh, yes. And so all of a sudden I've got a whole week of meals, which not great for my waistline, but it filled me, right? I love people.
And it became a thing.
Oh my
Like we were all vested. Like everybody's watching on social media, like, who should eat lunch with today?
Yeah, who's next?
Like,
Who's next?
who's next? And you called it meal
I
mates.
called it meal mates.
And it was like a coveted spot. Like we were reaching out across the country. Like, can we have Zoom lunch? Can we do meal mates
Do you do
online? Like,
yeah, people ask me that.
and we still do.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
But it got a name because people said, what do you call this thing? And I was like, I don't know. It's not a thing.
Mhm.
But it became a thing, right? And so it needed a name. And so I gave it a name. And people were asking me like, how do I get a meal mate? I'm like,
Mhm.
you just ask. There's no application process to this.
This, yeah.
You just ask. But I ended up, I mean, I'm still doing them. But when I finally had to like, okay, I gotta stop because I actually I'm doing something now. And got some
Yeah.
responsibilities. But I had 57 meal mates. 57 meal mates.
Whoa.
Over the summer, and weeks where I had a meal every day, sometimes twice a day. I had breakfast and lunch with somebody,
Mhm.
and an opportunity
Yeah.
that I didn't think about.
Yeah.
I was there really to just connect with people that mattered to me, that were important, that I've been thinking about. But it was an opportunity to say to someone else, I'm not worried because God's got this.
I would dare to say in this moment, listening to you and seeing the joy on your face, I know across 30 years, you've impacted thousands of people in one industry, but in a matter of months, over a few meals,
Mhm.
how many more souls were impacted, and I would dare say saved
Mhm.
and pointed towards the cross just by sharing a meal. And what I see in your testimony and your story is a shift of your focus. You took, like you said, the importance and the focus off of your identity here. And when your identity became Christ, that's the real fruit.
Right.
That's
And
the
that wasn't the
real
plan,
fruit.
right?
That
I
was
didn't go into this
you are not
being
and,
evangelized.
and here's the thing. Would you have done it if you had not been put in a position of not working for that season? Would you
No.
have done it?
Had God not shut, I mean, I tell my kids it was like he turned
Yeah.
off a light switch because look, he created me. I'm
Yeah.
hard headed.
Uh-uh. We all are. He knows his kids.
He created me. So I feel like the only way this could happen the only way, because people have been asking me for years, have you ever thought about, doing your own thing? Have you ever thought about
Mhm.
speaking or consulting? And I'm like, no, no, that's not what I do.
Mm,
The only way I was even going to be open to this
mm,
is if he shut the whole thing down.
mhm,
So I had to listen because until that moment, I knew I got this. I got
mhm.
this.
Yeah.
But he had to shut the whole thing down so that I
Mhm,
had the time, my energy was right, my
mhm.
mind was right, my
Yeah.
heart was right
Yeah.
for this to happen.
Mhm,
Um, because I did not understand why things weren't moving. And then at some point I said, okay,
mhm.
this is bigger than me.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a reason
Mm.
why this has been shut down. There's a
Jeremiah
reason.
29:11. For I know
The
the plans
plans.
I have for you,
Yeah.
plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans of hope and expected, meaning I expect the end for you that I already planned. He
Mhm.
knew.
He did.
He knew he knows Kim Hurd. He said, that is my child.
He
But
does.
she will only reroute and hear me when I sit her down.
Mhm. And shut
And
on
look
it.
at you now. So, okay, I want to fast forward. You went from meal mates, but then you got those calls and people are like, it's time, like we're ready for you. Like you didn't oh man, the grace of God. I'm kind of getting chills right now
It's crazy.
because
Crazy story.
when it's him, you didn't have to chase, you didn't have to pursue, you didn't have to put out the marketing and the ads and the hey, book me, hire me. You didn't have to do the things. Now I'm not saying that hey, that might not be a part of your journey, but the grace of God
Yeah.
to say, now let me provide the people. Let me give you the clients. And you're fully booked. Like you have clients and
I
people
do.
coming in and you aren't even looking for it. And then it leads to your new venture, which is I wish I had a drum roll. What is now the result of this new season? What's it called?
So let me introduce you to Truly Hurd. Hurd. Truly Hurd.
Yes.
Truly Hurd.
Truly Heard. And
Truly Hurd.
it is impeccable. I've seen the site, the materials. I was blown away by the love that it's so Kim. It's so Kim. It's so rich. It's so full of all of your wisdom, your personality.
I'm so
It
excited.
is a gift to the world. What? I love the wordplay on Truly Heard, but tell us about how that was birthed. How did we get here? I mean, we heard the testimony, but wow, Truly Heard.
Yeah, I mean, and what a blessing. You're exactly right, right? People are coming to me and say, we want to hire you for
Mhm.
consultant. What's the name of your company? And I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, can you send us over, tax documents and all this? And I'm like, no. Can you can you send us a speaker packet? I'm like, no. Like I
Yeah,
was just sitting here having meal mates, enjoying my summer off with my kids. What are we
right.
doing? So I actually had clients before I had a company.
Ooh,
Like that in itself is crazy, right? But
wow.
in thinking through what do I want this to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I want to get this right. This is important to me. So
Yeah.
it, Truly Hurt isn't just a name. Anybody can come up with a name. And I spent a good amount of time working on a name. Um, and I have a lot of fails on that. Like, no, that's really bad. That's not it. But it's more about, to me, it's more of a declaration, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Truly Heard, this is who I am. To your point of authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I stand for: clarity and being honest with people. And this is how I lead, right? So, the purpose of it, right, to inspire and equip people to lead from their worth, not for it. Lead from
From
it,
your worth, not
not for it,
for it. Wow.
right? So, Truly Heard, more than a brand, it's an invitation to stop proving your worth and
Mhm.
start leading from it.
So good.
Because we've all had that point in our life, in our career, where we wonder about our worthiness
Mhm.
and if we belong, and imposter syndrome and all those things. And I'm here to help with all
Mhm.
of that, right? The
Mhm.
tagline: be clear, be real,
Mhm.
be truly heard.
Mhm.
People need support and help in that. And whether that's in a consulting role or in a speaking role, or in training for our affiliates. I've been very blessed by affiliates who've reached out and said, we want new speakers, we want new energy.
Mhm.
We've heard you're available. And I'm like, did you Hurd? It's all over the place now, that play on the name.
Yeah,
Uh,
no.
but it just felt right. That's it.
Mm.
When you're with me, when you're talking to me, whether it's lunch or on a keynote with 600 people in the audience, I want you to feel like you were truly heard.
And we do. You have a gift. I'm sitting here in this moment and I'm watching you just glow in purpose.
I love this.
And what like it just, oh my God, I get
I
to
do.
witness this.
I love
We
this.
get to witness. I was like, how strategic is it of God to give you the last name Hurd? Like, and I'm like, I mean, he gave you the brand.
He did.
And I don't want y'all to miss this. Did you hear her say he gave you clients before he gave you the company?
Crazy.
If that's not a Noah's Ark moment, like build it before it happens, build it before, like that's so God. And if like I want to talk to people that are like, well, I don't know, like, is it God? Did I hear him right? There will be evidence. The evidence was there was fruit. Dr. Debbie Phillips, who we both know and love, she always tells me, tend to your own tree, your own garden, and follow the fruit. She tells every time, follow your fruit. And that is how you know that it is God. There will be fruit and it will be God.
Yeah.
That's it. And if it dries up, it's not him.
Yeah. There's too much to this, right? And it's too, I've never been a person to believe in coincidence. But you couldn't coincidence 6 months of this, right? Like at some point, okay, stop. It's not coincidence anymore. This is
well, it's a bit supernatural. And I know you don't like when people say it, but let's be honest, like even have that moment. There's so many layers to your story. Here's what I'm personally taking away from it and how you've blessed and inspired me. I watched how you let God strip ego. When I mean by ego, like he had to deal with me in that too, that, you know, he freely gives gifts and talents.
He does.
And sometimes we get too reliant on talent. That's ego. That's pride, right? And he'll take the talent and he'll say, okay, now you got to return to me. And to see you, but you did, like, you were so hungry in that season. I could think of our conversations where you're like, friend, I just want the Bible study. Like, I just want more Bible. And I was like, okay, it was like you were hungry for food, but you're like, I just want to read the word. You know, some resources, and you were inspiring me. You're like, I need this group. Like, where's your Bible study books? I was like, okay. Like, and I was like, God, I thank you for Kim Hurd. I thank you for her hunger for you, because her hunger for you is pushing me to feed your people. So I thank you, Kim. I honor you. I am so excited that I get to show the world and, give a preview here to what you're doing. Where can people find out about Truly Hurd, to book you, to connect with you and work with you and with your teams?
So website's up and going, and I tweak it, I feel like every day. Do you do that?
You will, yes.
Every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I could move that word over. Or I could change that picture.
Yeah.
So trulyhurd.com, truly Hurd, play off my last name, trulyhurd.com.
Yes.
That is out there. I'm working on speaker reels and speaker packets, all of those things that people keep asking for.
Yes.
So all of that will be in play very soon. I've got a marketing agency that's working with me to create all of the tchotchkes and materials.
It's
and
amazing.
like that too. And again, I'm so blessed, right? I'm blessed that I was able to call you and say, I feel like God is moving and I need support in this. I'm blessed.
Oh, he did this, like, to put us in the same city at the moment he said, I'm ready to do this. And then for, Shelly to come through, like, it just, I literally, when I told her, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I guess we're gonna do this interview. And then, like, it just worked. In 24 hours, it was like, she's here on a plane. I see Shelly, and it's like, okay. And sometimes, like, God doesn't work at your speed, right? He doesn't work with your plans. And that my prayer for you, our prayer for you, is that you trust God with your shift and your surrender. Let him wow you and put you on the path he wants you to be on. Kim Hurd, I thank you that I get to walk this path with you.
Same.
Much success and blessings and lots of fruit for what you're doing. Listen, if this has inspired you, make sure you go to melissadwhite.com/professional faith. Join our community. This is more than a conversation. It is a community. It's a community where you can not only see the behind the scenes take on my conversations, but it's full of Bible teachings, testimonies, and resources for you to be professional in your faith at work and in the world, because your faith is professional and it does have a place in your work. Sure. I'll see you inside of the community. Make sure you click the link below to join us for free and to stay connected with Kim Hurd. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.